السلام عليكم.
السلام عليكم.
الو.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أستاذ كريم.
مين معايا؟ أنا بس مش شايف الاسم أصلا يعني. صالح، صباح الفل.
أكيد مبارك.
ازيك يا غالي؟ عامل إيه؟ صباح الفل. عامل إيه؟
الأخبار؟
الحمد لله رب العالمين. أخبارك أنت إيه؟ حيرتونا يا عم. أنا بحسب الميعاد 8 بتوقيت مصر اللي هو 9 عندنا، قلت أنا جيت غلط ولا إيه؟ لسه يعني.
إيه؟
لا شغل لا كورس، شفت الحياة بقى؟ لا إما شغل لا إما كورس.
الحمد لله.
طيب
هنرتاح في الجنة إن شاء الله. عليكم السلام
ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you doing everyone؟ إن شاء الله عايشين حياتكم، بنفطر وبنشرب، دي حاجة عظيمة جدا، حاجة عظيمة.
والله.
Only 6 are here, but what the rest of the people? 6 are here? Oh my goodness. أيوة. Just let's wait for more 3 minutes. And I'm sorry for being late for these 15 minutes. My my laptop has determined suddenly to update my Windows. So I have to wait. Okay. So let's wait for like 2 more minutes to get breakfast and everybody attend. Nice to see you again, Kareem. No comment. Okay.
إنه لا يستطيع التحدث العربية بطلاقة.
وعربي خالص أصلا، لا طلاقة ولا نطلاقة. مالكوش دعوة باللي بكتبه على الصفحة. عندي حاجة ولا
لا أنا بتكلم إن أنا مش هتكلم خالص، إن أنا ما بعرفش أتكلم عربي ولا بفهم عربي، أنا ساكت.
الحمد لله.
ولا إنجلش حتى. أنا ويتنس.
ويتنس؟ Okay.
بس مش أكتر.
تبارك الله. Okay, great. So shall we start now?
Yeah, sure.
Alhamdulillah. First of all, again, unfortunately, most of you did not do the assignment yet. Well, most of you, I mean this group. مين اللي عمل assignment? Okay, I have a minute, please. طبعا كريم did it, Nasreen. Alhamdulillah. Saleh, are you done with it?
Yeah.
Okay, Saleh also sent it. Iman, Aman, Rauda. But not the rest of the people.
Excuse me.
Yes.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام يا نسمة. How are you, my dear?
الحمد لله fine. الحمد لله. Unfortunately, I didn't do my homework.
Why?
Actually, yesterday, والله, I was so busy.
Today? Okay, today you are so busy. So you will have a chance to send it today. But
Inshallah. I'll send it inshallah today, بإذن الله.
Inshallah, because
Hend, I think it's so difficult.
It's what?
So difficult.
It's so difficult? Seriously?
Yeah, I can't find any words to speak about.
Right. Do you know, Rauda, what to do in this case? In this case, if you find it too difficult, all you have to do is to Google the answers to this question. Just write the question followed by model answer. Okay? Again, write the question or part of the question followed by model answer. Then you will find a very, very good model answer, band score 8 and band score 9 model answer. You can read it carefully and then you try to imitate. I don't say you have to read it once more as a home assignment. No, just try to learn the vocabulary, included the grammar structure, and start along. Understand?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Do your best to do that. If you find that there is a very difficult topic that you cannot generate any ideas in, This is one of the ways by which you can easily generate ideas and find ideas. Okay, let me read the topic again once more because I want you guys to discuss it together here in this room. Okay,
Teacher Hend, I did it by you don't notice it.
I didn't send it.
Yes.
Why not? Mona?
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, why didn't you send it?
No, I sent it yesterday, but you didn't notice it.
Oh, seriously? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, I mentioned you in the WhatsApp group.
طيب. That's so weird. I didn't see it even. I'm sorry. I will quickly address it right after the class. And pardon me for not opening my camera today, but I caught a cold yesterday's night. Therefore, my whole face is very, dramatically swelled. I don't know whether you guys know what's swelled or not. Everything is getting bigger. So it's not a nice scene in the morning. Okay. So again, the topic is, yes, Saleh, you still have it on your mobile phone.
Me?
Sorry?
If you still have it on your mobile phone, you can send it once more. I will read it for you again. Describe a piece of advice you recently received. You should say, when this happened, who gave you this advice, what the advice was, and explain how you felt about the advice. So how many questions do we have here? How many questions do we have here? Somebody answers me, please.
Four.
We have 4 questions. Can we skip any of these questions while answering? No, definitely not. You cannot skip any of these questions while answering, okay? So in these 2 minutes that will be given to you, you have to cover all the 4 questions, okay? Can you write what? Yeah, Ismail. Write what, my dear? Write the question. Just open your WhatsApp group, okay?
I forwarded already.
Thank you very much. So again, in these 2 minutes, you have to cover the main 4 questions that are given to you, okay? Today, inshallah, we're going to discuss a very important thing. What is this thing? We need to talk about something that is called the structure of ideas, or the proper structure of a paragraph. What do I mean by this? For example, I will answer the first question. They are asking again, describe a piece of idea. Who can tell me why did they use the word or the phrase piece of idea? Why didn't they say describe an advice?
Can I answer?
Yes, Nisma.
Piece of advice is uncountable word.
Yes.
So we need to make it plural.
Yes.
To put piece of advice, 2 pieces of advice.
Okay.
And like.
Okay. The point, yes, I partially agree with you. Piece of advice is the singular form of the word advice. A piece of advice is one advice. But when you want to put it in the plural form, you just write advice without a piece of. So I received 2 advice today. I don't say 2 advices. I received 3 advice today, and so on. Understand?
Okay. Sorry again. Can you repeat again?
Yes, again. Kareem, someone please to tell him how to raise his hand. So again, when I say that yesterday I received a piece of advice. A piece of advice means one advice.
Okay.
If you want to put it in the plural form, you can easily say advice only, without a piece of. Okay? So yesterday, my close friends gave me 2 advice in order to be open to my laptop quickly. Yeah, Kareem, you can raise your hand in this application by just clicking on participate button, which is next to chat. Can you see the buttons below? You have a button called participate. Just click on it, and then you will find raise hand option. Yes, am I right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen? Okay, great. Kareem, did you know how to do it now? Thank Kareem. Is Kareem here asking?
تمام يا دكتور. تمام وصل.
Okay. So now we need to know what is the proper structure of a sentence. Okay, let me write something down. I'll share my screen just right now, but I need a minute, please, before I start. Okay, now I need to share my screen with you. And to start to explain what do I mean by the structure of the paragraphs. Now listen, whenever you have one main idea, or if you open any book in the English language, any book in the English language, you will find out that those people, I know that in the English language, you will have a lot of paragraphs, like this would be paragraph 1, and then they leave a blank line and move to paragraph 2, then a blank line and move to paragraph 3. This would be paragraph 1, okay? And this would be paragraph 2, and so on, etc. Okay? Right. The main structure in paragraph 1 here is what? Well, those people usually start with, here, you will find something called the main idea. In the beginning of the paragraph, like, I need to be very specific. Here, you will find the main idea. Here, you will find the main idea. They usually start their paragraph with one main idea. With one main idea. يعني مثلا إذا هم عايزين يقولوا إيه؟ عاوزين يقولوا إنه reading is very useful. Okay? Imagine that this is my main idea now. This is the main idea that I want to deliver. Reading is very useful. If you continue writing here, you will find supporting details to support this main idea. Supporting details to support this main idea. And by the end here, you will find an example to this main idea. Okay? And this is the right structure of every paragraph. لو بنقرا if you're reading a book وفتحت كتاب دلوقتي randomly بشكل عشوائي جدا, you will find out that this is the structure of every book written in the English language or even in the Arabic language, by the way. The structure الأكاديمي, this is the proper academic structure that everyone should follow if you're planning to start writing in an academic way. وتعالوا النهارده let me give you an advice sisterly advice that I want you guys to start following. My sisterly advice is, if you want to change your way of thinking to be a very logical way of thinking, in order to be able to convince someone else, the easiest way is to follow this structure. علشان نقنع شخص أو نقنع حد بأي فكرة we have, لازم نتبع الطريقة دي. It is the shortest way of persuading and convincing the others with our idea. Start with the main idea, then follow it with the supporting details and the examples. Let me tell you a story, okay? And this, in this story, you will get to understand what do I mean by the word main idea, supporting details, and examples. Okay?
Sorry,
Okay.
Miss Hend. Sorry, Miss Hend, for inconvenience.
Yes.
Did you hear me well? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay. How many ideas shall I mention in each paragraph? How many ideas?
Okay.
Just one or
This
two?
is a very controversial question. Okay? Some of the people say that I should include one main idea in each paragraph. But I fully agree with the idea that says write as many main ideas as possible in one paragraph, as long as you're supporting as many main ideas as you can with supporting details and examples. So in one paragraph, you can write 2 main ideas with more than 2 supporting details and 2 examples. Understand? So if you're planning, for example, Yamuna, to write, is this Mona who asked the question, sorry?
Asma. Asma.
So Asma, if you're planning to write one main idea, the least number of supporting details is 3 supporting details. The least number you can use. And then 1 example will be enough. تعالوا نشوف أكتر by an example to understand what do I mean by main idea, supporting details and examples. على فكرة الكلام ده نلاقيه في كل paragraph. يعني paragraph 2 you will have main idea 2, supporting details and examples. Paragraph 3 the same, paragraph 4 the same, and so on. Okay? يلا نشوف how is that. Listen to the story. One day I went to my close friend's house who just called me asking me and my husband to attend an argument which was more like a quarrel between her husband and herself. Okay? Well, however, I don't like attending such things because it was quite personal. This lady insisted on us, me and my husband, attend this incident, and she said that it is kind of emergency because they are about to get divorced. All right? So I convinced my husband to, you know, like quickly put on your clothes and let's go there. We went there, and the lady started complaining about her husband, saying that, do you guys understand me? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like you're too silent, no cans are in front of me, so I feel like you have already slept while I'm talking, telling you the bedtime story. All right. So the lady started complaining, saying that, well, I'm afraid that I have to tell them that you've turned to be the worst husband ever. First of all, you never spend any time with me or your kids at home. Whenever you're there, the only thing you do is to open your laptop and start chatting or playing with your close friends online. Another thing that is, you never spend money on us. Most of your money goes in some places that I really don't know. Remember the time when your daughter came back from school crying because her teacher caught her after stealing some of her friends' money? And when you asked her about why did she did that, she said that she wanted to buy something like her friends from the canteen. Another thing is that you don't love us anymore. To be specific, you don't love me anymore. You don't care about me. You don't care about the way we spend our time together, or even discussing the issues that really annoy me during the day. Unlike the previous time, I really hate my life with you. Okay? And this was the story.
Okay.
الحقيقة إنه الست دي كانت يعني أدهشتني. She really impressed me. She didn't impress me طبعا by the attitude she had يعني. But she impressed me by the way she convinced us. She even convinced her husband that he's the worst man in the whole world. But how did she do that? First of all, when she started with the main idea. What was the main idea that she started with? Raise hand, please, if you have an answer to my question. Raise hand if you have an answer to my question. So it's Nisma. Yalla Nisma. Huh?
Getting divorced.
Sorry?
I think the main idea of the story is getting divorced.
No, but this is not the main idea that she wanted everyone to be convinced with. She wanted to persuade or convince everyone around that he is في حد تاني رافع ايده؟ That he is yes, who is the second participant? يلا ها؟
ممكن but in Arabic.
Bad husband.
Complain
Yes,
to her husband.
Excellent. She wanted everyone to be convinced that he's the worst husband on earth. Okay? So that
Yes.
was the main idea, Iman. Thank you very much. What are the supporting details that she gave us? حد رافع ايده تاني? Raise hand, please. Raise your hands, please.
Again, question, please.
The question again, what are the supporting details that she gave in order to prove that he is the worst husband on earth? Only Iman.
Explained here.
Raise hands, please. Raise hands.
Don't care about.
Okay. What are the supporting details? Supporting detail number 1, Iman, is that
Don't care about her and her daughter.
he doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about them, or he doesn't care about the way he spends his time with his wife or his daughter, or his wife mainly. The second idea was about his daughter. He never spends money on his family. And this was supporting detail number 2. Did she give an example to prove this? That he doesn't spend any money on the family?
Can I?
Yes, please.
When her daughter came from the school stealing some money from her friend, it's okay with him. She didn't do that, but his wife. But his wife told him that this is because you didn't spend any money about us.
Okay, thank you very much. So this was main idea number 2, that he doesn't spend money on them. And the example that she gave is that the girl stole some money from her friend. Thank you. Kareem, do you have any other ideas supporting?
In general, the general idea can be summarized as that he don't take care or he doesn't take care or look after of his family in all ways that he is supposed to be.
Thank you very much. Did she mention any other detail to support the main
told
idea.
the main
Yes.
idea, right? Main
Yes.
idea only, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the main idea is the worst husband. So supporting detail 1 is that he doesn't care about his wife and he doesn't ask her about her, whatever annoys her or whatever the way her day goes. Number 2, he doesn't spend money on them. And she gave an example on the daughter who stole some money from her friend. And number 3 is that he doesn't spend time with them too, right? Did she give an example?
He spent all his time in sitting on his laptop.
Yes, opening his laptop and trying to chat with other friends rather than spending time with his wife and his kids, right? Excellent. طيب. By this, we will, alhamdulillah, now I think that you guys are able to understand how can we form a good paragraph and how can we form a good answer to any of the questions that are given to us. تعالوا كده نشوف بقى تاني. First, the first question that was given to us. When this happened, describe a piece of advice that you recently received when this happened. أنا هقول إنه well, I just received a piece of advice I received a piece of advice 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And this is my main idea. Who can give me some supporting details to this idea? I received, and I will tell you, this is my main idea. I received a piece of advice 2 years ago. السؤال بيقول when did you receive it? أنا أقول I received a piece of advice 2 years ago. ادوني بقى supporting details على الفكرة دي. ها.
مش فاهمين يعني على أنهي فكرة اللي اتقالت قبل كده ولا حاجة جديدة يعني؟
أنا لسه بقولها حالا دلوقتي. I received a piece of advice 2 years ago.
ماشي، إيه هي بقى الأدفايس دي؟
لا أنا مش عايزة إيه هي الأدفايس. أنا عايزة أكمل الباراجراف بتاعي. بدأت باراجراف بقول I received a piece of advice 2 years ago. هحط supporting details على الفكرة دي إزاي؟
Why didn't I receive that advice?
I really wonder why didn't I receive a piece of advice, such a piece of advice a little bit earlier. This is a very good one. Yes.
Who gave it to me?
No. Don't go to another question, okay? Don't overlap.
Okay.
So we can say that receiving advice is just like a simple guide that Allah the Creator sends us whenever we feel like we're sinking in the, not thinking, we're sinking in the life ocean, okay? Since that time, I feel that my life has totally changed after I received it, okay? Believing that, because of this advice, I believe that I was totally safe after I was in a real danger. Okay? And عملت ايه دلوقتي؟ I supported my main idea with so many supporting details in order to convince my reader with what's going on. طب let's move to question 2.
معلش يا دكتور قولها تاني عشان نحفظ واحدة بس ولا حاجة ناخدها كده يعني نحفظها كده أيام.
I'm just improvising يا كريم. أنا عمالة دلوقتي بعمل إيه؟ بألف يعني. هقولها تاني؟
ما هي حلوة فالواحد ياخدها هيسهل معاه يعني لما يسهل هيقولها.
حاضر. When this happened, الquestion أصلاً بيقول when this happened فهقول I received a piece of advice 2 years ago. Supporting details, I wonder why I haven't received such an advice a little bit earlier.
I wonder that I haven't received.
I wonder why. Why I haven't received such
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't.
Such
an idea.
Such an advice like that.
Earlier. A little bit earlier.
A little.
A little bit earlier. My whole life changed after receiving this piece of idea or piece of advice. طيب نشوف second question. Who would like to answer the second question in the same pattern that I just explained? Second question بيقول who gave you this advice? Who gave you this advice? Raise hands, please. Raise hands and tell me who gave you this advice. Main ideas, supporting details, and examples. على طول نسمة is the first one who raises her hand. تبارك الله يا نسمة. Excellent. Who else? I have 2 participants now only. لا, I need more hands to be raised. More hands to be raised, please. Bravo ya Karim. Thank you very much. Who else? Think about a person and think about some details to be mentioned about this person. It's easy. Yes? Thank you very much. يلا, let's start with من تحت لفوق. Let's start with صالح. يلا يا صالح.
I will give you the advice. For that question, I have to mention here only the name or the relation with him or what?
Any. The person who gave me this advice is my
Colleague, for example.
all right, is my colleague or my close friend. Okay. Give me some supporting details.
Supporting details for the same person, right?
Yes, excellent. For this main idea, for the person who advised you.
Okay, you
Talk
mean
about this person.
main idea and the supporting details I have to mention for each point, right?
صح
Not
يا
for
صح يا صالح. صح. For each point, I have to give main idea, supporting details, and examples. By
so
this,
I
if you just follow this technique, ya Saleh, you will finish your 2 minutes very smoothly and easily, and in the same time, you will get the highest band score you could ever get.
so I have to consider this. I have 4 questions, so I have 4 paragraphs. Am I right?
Yes, 4 main ideas and as many supporting details and examples as possible. عشان نشوف كريم ممكن يديني examples ازاي على الانسر دي. يلا يا كريم.
هو في 2 يعني بتلخبط 3 بس هو 2 انا جهزتهم. ممكن اقول I learned ولا I learned بالتي ولا بالدي في الاخر؟
It's ED or both are correct. British with ED. I learned. American.
I learned.
Yes.
I learned this advice from last person. أو I have extruded this advice from life experiments.
Life experience. Okay, it's a life experience. Okay.
لا أنا بقول I have extruded this advice from life experiments.
Okay.
أصلها من تجارب الحياة يعني.
كريم اسمعني. Life does not give us piece of advice or any advice. Life teaches us lessons. Life teaches us lessons. But advice usually comes from a person. Okay? So think about a person now.
ماشي.
Give you advice in your life.
From real friends أو family. يعني I learned this advice from my father, my mother, my brother.
اديني بس واحد بس يا كريم.
My mother.
My mother. Okay. I received this advice from my mother. هتديني supporting details ايه بقى على ال advice that you received from your mother.
على advice نفسها؟
تعالوا كده نسمع. أنا هديلكم supporting details يا إما على المother يا إما على الادفايس. أنا لسه ما دخلتش في what the advice is, which is the third question. صح؟ هتكلم عن إيه؟ هتكلم عن my mother. هقول however my mother used to be a very فاكرين ال description او مثلا خليها عشان ما تبقاش وحشه قوي في حق my mother نخليها my classmate. فاكرين الديسكريبشن بتاع الانديان جيرل اللي احنا لسه متعلمينه 3 days ago؟ Can we use it? Or 2 days ago? Yes.
disagreeable.
ايوه.
bad tempered and selfish.
Very good. However,
Selfish.
my friend was a very selfish, bad-tempered, and disagreeable person all the time. He gave me a very important piece of advice. This person used to be أو ممكن نقول however this person used to be a very selfish person, selfish, disagreeable, and bad-tempered all the time. He used to give each one of our gang يعني شلة كده. He used to give us a very useful piece of advice every while and then.
هو مش عايز اقول ان هو وحش مثلا، يعني مش عايز اقول ان هو شخص وحش.
مش بالضرورة ان هو وحش، هو عنده صفات وحشة لكن هو ممكن يدينا صفات كويسة، اوكي؟ ممكن كمان نزود as a supporting detail. He used to be a very wise person who was older than us, who was almost 5 years older than us. And however he doesn't pass many of the exams, he was even more sociable than anyone in our university. That he took a very important part in the students' counselor at our university. Yes? And I did how many details about this person? A lot. Did I mention any examples? Yes. The example here is that he joined the students' counselor and he's taking a very important part in there. Okay? Right. Question 3. Which is what the advice was. What the advice was. حد بقى يديني يفكر كده، حاولوا تمسكوا ورقة وقلم وتقولوا لي what the advice was. تدوني supporting details and one example, please. Think about it. يا جماعة الناس ما فيش غير 3 hands that are always up. لا، أمل نصر، أسماء، منى، رغدة, and Yasser. Wake up please, and I want you guys to unmute your microphones and start raising your hand and giving me some answers to my questions. Interact.
I don't find any hands. Sorry, I don't find any hand on my laptop to raise it.
لا، ما احنا هنقول participate. Click on the participate button.
Check the WhatsApp group. There is one message there. How to raise hand.
Did you find the participate button?
Yeah, there is one.
Okay,
there is one picture.
and then it's okay. I found it.
Alhamdulillah. Huh?
Okay.
What about the rest? Nisma, Muna. Alhamdulillah. Who else? More hands, please. More hands to be raised. Please. Yalla Yasser. Salam Yasser. How are you doing?
Fine.
Yasser? What was this piece of advice?
I can't hear. Excuse me.
Huh?
I can't hear. Excuse me again.
What was this piece of advice?
Okay. This is advice was study smarter, not harder.
Was what?
Study smarter, not harder.
Study smart? Huh?
Smarter, not harder.
Excellent. Study smarter, not harder. Okay. اديني supporting details.
Okay. It's from I take it from a book for Kevin Boyle. If you want to if you want to use this advice, you should be you will be a successful people And about the advice or about I can take a definition for advice or what?
Yes, about the advice itself. احنا بدأنا من idea دلوقتي الياس بإيه؟ This advice was to study smart rather than studying hard. صح؟
Yeah.
بدأ تذاكر hard I study smart. طب تعالى بقى اديني شوية supporting details للidea دي.
It will make
Yes, explain how would you study smart rather than studying hard.
okay. It will make your study easily. Your study will easy and efficient. Like
What else?
أنا بفكر في العربي بس مش في الإنجليزي.
معلش شوية. Do your best to switch your way of thinking into an English word, the English one. It will take time. This is the point. It will take some time, but you have to keep on talking.
This advice you can use a suitable place and suitable light and a suitable mood.
Very good. In this advice, my friend made sure to tell me to sit in a suitable place in which I can enjoy a suitable light and a safe surrounding. Safe surrounding. Very good one. What else? He also advised me to have a very good mood before I start studying. All right?
Right.
That I need to play some music and relax. Forget about all my troubles and problems. Then I start studying in my own private room. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yes.
And using our
Yes.
and advice. This advice about using mind maps on your study.
Using what?
Mind maps. Mind maps.
Mind maps, very good one too. He also advised me to use my mind maps in order to help me study smart. Very good. Instead of memorizing, for example. Instead of memorizing, because my memory is so bad. أيوة أوي يا ياسر. Excellent. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay.
It's my mind map.
My mind maps, yes.
What does it mean?
Mind maps يا كريم بنعملها ازاي؟ Mind map يعني مثلا انك to draw things instead of memorizing them. يعني ايه؟ يعني احنا مثلا دايما في كده ثانية واحدة. I just need to mute all because I think some of you guys have a very disturbing echo in the background. في ولاد يا كريم in order to let them memorize the Quran مثلا for example we ask them to start drawing whatever they understand, drawing the first ayah, then the second ayah, then the third ayah, so that they finish up using a very big mind map. And when they look at it, they remember exactly what this verse or ayah mean. Understand? This is what I mean by the mind map. Other times, if you are not very good at memorizing things and your memory is not very good, all you have to do is to start drawing or taking notes, very simple notes about what you're reading, or joining words together so that you can make sentences instead of memorizing whole paragraphs together. ناخد كلمة كده from each paragraph and we put all these words together so that it just gives us a very quick reminder of what this or that paragraph about. Have you ever tried this before? I think all of us have tried this. If you were a SAT student, IG student, or even ثانوية عامة student. Yes, we've all used the mind maps for memorizing things. Yes?
So
Okay.
the same idea for put the vocabulary on the sticky notes.
Yeah, it is some kind of, yes, it is the same idea. Okay, so let's move to the next question, which is what?
Miss Hend, sorry. Can I say this question again? Can I repeat it?
Repeat the answer to the question?
Yeah?
Yes, please. My pleasure.
Okay. My mother's advice was to change my workplace because if I still work in this place, I will suffer a lot. I reckon that the working environment is a pivotal issue that is required to achieve all my goals and make a difference in my career without any stress. Is it acceptable?
Very acceptable. Thank you very much. It is amazing. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Bravo. Next.
Thanks.
لسه يا دكتور انا عندي برضه اكزامبل عايز اقوله.
يلا اتفضل يا كريم.
The advice is to study English by saving the phrasal verbs. Not ايوه.
نركز فيها شويه بليز.
اعمل ايه؟
نركز شويه في التي اتش ساوند بليز.
حاضر. بس اصل بيلخبطني لو في اس بعد كده بتبقى مشكله.
معلش.
The advice هتكلم ببطء. The advice is study English by saving the phrasal verbs, not by individual vocabulary or punch lists. Okay? The supporting.
Yes, continue.
Okay. Supporting information. When you study personal verbs and full sentences, you will collect more than one word, and it will be easy to be memorized as it has connection with certain situation happened in your life. Actual situation. Easy to recall.
I like it. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Question. I suffer a lot ولا I suffer a lot يعني بتتقال I suffer a lot أنا بعاني كتير.
I suffered a lot. If you want to say that this is a habit or a fact, I suffer a lot. Suffer. Yeah?
A lot مش lot يعني.
لا I suffer a lot. A lot.
طب والايه ديت لازقه في لوت ولا بعيد عنها في مسافه في سبيس؟ يعني a lot of كذا ولا
ايوه A لوحدها lot لوحدها. We can't write a lot as the one word. This is a common mistake. A lot is two words. A and lot. Thank you very much, Akiri. Amazing. Okay, so the way you're following my advice is really amazing. طيب let's move to another question. تعالوا نشوف الquestion اللي بعده كان بيقول ايه. The second question says the second question. No. Third question. Yes. And you will what this advice was, and explain how you felt about this advice. Explain how you felt. And يعرف يقول لي to explain how you felt about something. What should you do?
You have to mention.
Tell me some words to tell me your feelings about something. معانا 4 hands. Any more hands? 5. يلا more hands please. Feelings. To describe feelings, what should you use? What adjectives can you use? يلا يا أمل.
Hello?
Yes, Amal, I can hear you. In order to describe your feelings, what words can you use?
I have one sentence. It was a reasonable.
A sentence and either adjectives. In order to describe your feelings, give me some adjectives to describe feelings.
Reasonable.
Reasonable. I felt reasonable. لا. مفيش حاجة اسمها
لا it was reasonable.
ماشي بس أنا عايزة feelings. هسمع رغدة وارجع لك تاني. اوكي؟
sensible.
لا في turn رغدة.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning, my
Yes.
dear. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, great. So please.
Comfortable, interesting, enthusiastic, anxious, worried.
Anxious.
Anxious.
Yes. So enthusiastic, anxious,
interesting,
interested. I was interested. Yes. Interested, enthusiastic. وenthusiastic يعني متحمس. I was very enthusiastic. Okay?
Optimistic.
Allah, optimistic يعني متفائل. Yes, feeling positive about something. Yes, I was very optimistic. Thank you very much, my dear. Let's take Asma.
Yes, Miss Hend.
Hello, dear.
Hello.
More
Okay.
adjectives?
I can use idioms. It's okay.
Okay.
To express feelings. Okay. I can say I felt over the moon. I was
very happy. Yes.
Yeah, I was down in the dumps.
Down in the dumps. What does it mean?
It means very sad.
Means feeling very bad and sad about something.
Yeah.
Okay. Down in the dumps. Okay.
Or I'm on cloud 9.
Excuse me.
So happy.
Yes, I know that you guys will ask me to write them down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you some episodes to watch on YouTube, okay, on which you can get very, very important idioms to learn. All right?
Okay.
So, again, on cloud 9. On cloud 9 means very happy. Continue.
Yeah. Or frustrated. Maybe frustrated.
These are not idioms. Now we're moving to
words. Yeah, words.
Adjectives, yes. So I want you guys to start writing as many adjectives as you can to describe your feelings in the chat box now. Yalla, بسرعة. Write it in the chat box. As many words to describe your feelings. Quickly open your chat box and start writing. Disappointed. Down in the dumps. Very good. Excited. Come on, everyone. Disappointed, we wrote it before. Kareem has started with disappointment. Down, I felt down. Proud, very good. Proud. Kamein, stressed out. Frustrated. Bravo. What else? More. Yasser, say something. Cross, very good. أيوة كده using our vocabulary. Excellent. Awesome. But awesome, A-W-E يا كريم. It's misspelled. A-W-E-S-O-M. Excellent. Happy. Very good. Happy. طيب في عندنا other adjectives rather than happy. خلوني أقول لكم إن إحنا عندنا كمان النهاردة pleased. A very good one. طيب. احنا بس حابه اقول حاجه انه sometimes curious يا كريم C-U-R
curious. Yes, curious ولا
curious. لا curious. When you are curious, you're willing to know something. I'm very curious to know what happened yesterday. Curious يعني willing to know. I'm really willing to know. And see you. Very good. Ambitious. Very good. Ambitious يعني طموح. Okay? طيب. Another advice which is try to avoid the low range of vocabulary words during speaking. يعني إيه low range of vocabulary words؟ معناها try to avoid words like fat, thin, happy, sad, tall, short. These are very low range of vocabulary words. Instead, you can use words that are of a very high range of vocabulary words, by which you, if you use, your band score will get higher and higher. Okay? So tell me how. Tell me how. أقول لكم just wait 1 minute please. I will show you something that you will definitely like. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
I had a problem. The word
on my screen first, please.
Miss Hend.
A minute, please. What can you see on my screen?
I saw the main idea, the words before. Main idea, supporting details, example. These words still appear on my board.
طيب. Now I would like to stop the share and let's start the share once more. Okay. Yes, what's your question, my dear? Have a question? Here, I will send you this worksheet by which you can easily find synonyms to the low range of vocabulary words. Instead of bad, you can use these synonyms: negative, detrimental, inferior, inadequate, incorrect, poor, unsatisfactory, harmful, unacceptable, and so on. Here we have some examples. Big, sizable, enormous, huge, immense, gigantic, vast, large, grand, great, tall, substantial, mammoth, etc. Okay? But the point is that I can't use all these words in the same context. يعني إيه؟ يعني مثلا, yesterday I spent a very bad night. If I want to replace this word bad, can I say yesterday I spent a very unacceptable night? Would that be okay? Does it give me the same meaning? No, definitely not. However, if I replace it with the word terrible night, yesterday I spent a terrible night, that would give me the same meaning. Unpleasant night would give me the same meaning too, right? So we need to learn that some of these words are suitable to be replaced in the context, and some other words aren't. Understand? It's better if you memorize some, like 4 or 5 synonyms to each one of them. I will send you these worksheets after we're done with our class today so that you start memorizing them. The worksheet is not that big. They are around 4 or 5 pages. So you can memorize as many as you can and make sure you learn where and how to put these words. If I doubt whether this is a good synonym to the word or not, نعمل إيه? We can easily, لو ما عندكش مثلا sentence and you want to find a sentence to each word, you can easily open Merriam-Webster dictionary. مش أنا اتكلمت قبل كده معاكم عن Merriam-Webster dictionary؟ وقلنا إن إحنا we have to download this dictionary on our laptop. I'm gonna write it down here in our chat screen. It is called Merriam-Webster.
Excuse me.
Yes, my dear.
When I have phrasal verbs or the collocations,
yes,
the 2 words, when I need to know its meaning, is this also provided in this dictionary?
Well, for the collocations, it's sometimes there. And you can easily have a thesaurus as well. A thesaurus which is more like a dictionary, but it gives you only the meanings or the synonyms and the antonyms to the word. Synonyms.
Could you?
Yes. Yes, my dear. Merriam-Webster, here it is.
Yeah.
This dictionary should be downloaded on your mobile so that it can easily help you find the definition of the words, also the parts of speech. Yani, is it a noun, a verb, an adjective? These are the parts of speech. And in there, you will find also the word in context or in a sentence, which will help you determine whether this word is a good synonym to the adjective that you're looking for or not. Okay?
Okay, what about the collocation I asked you about?
Yes, again, about the collocations. You can find the collocations in either Merriam-Webster or on Oxford Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary is a very good one too. You can find the collocations there. Otherwise, you can have the Cambridge Collocations and Phrasal Verbs book that would definitely help you memorize some of them. All right, dear?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. خلاص؟ طيب. Now, I think you're familiar with what I mean by the word synonyms to low range of vocabulary words. So when I comment on any of your presentations saying that you need to use higher range of vocabulary words, this means that your presentation included these very low range of vocabulary words that needs to be replaced with any of these synonyms or antonyms. خلاص؟ اوكي؟ طيب النهارده كنا بنتكلم mainly عن ايه يا شباب؟ Today we were talking mainly about حد يفكرني؟
Paragraph.
About the right context of writing a paragraph, the proper format of a paragraph, whether for writing or for speaking. عاوزة ده يكون منهج وأسلوب حياة. على فكرة لو حاولت من هنا ورايح، من النهارده ورايح إن شاء الله، إنك تفكر بالطريقة دي وإنك تبرمج مخك على التفكير بالطريقة دي، صدقوني حاجات كتيرة جدا في حياتنا هتتغير. Including the way you discuss things with your husband or wife, your spouse, I mean. The way you're discussing things with your boss or your manager at work, the way you're speaking and discussing things with the employees. If you're a sales representative, it will be a very good way to persuade and convince others with your ideas. هتساعدنا كتير كتير, not only in the IELTS test, but in your life, all your life aspects as well. Understand? ماشي؟ يعني خلوها كده منهج حياة. نحاول نغير طريقة تفكيرنا ونخليها منهج حياة. Because it is a very positive way of arranging our ideas. على فكرة كمان الناس اللي بتفكر تاخد ال IELTS, this is the perfect way of how to write a good essay or a good paragraph. This is one of the secrets of how to write an academic essay or an academic type of writing. Agree? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
الحمد لله. اوكي. طيب تعالوا النهارده بقى دلوقتي حالا معانا السؤال بتاعنا تاني. كل واحد هيفتح دلوقتي الموبايل لو سمحتوا. Again, open the mobile and have a look at your question and start answering your question where? Here in our breakout rooms. Okay. Here we go. 2 participants. Create rooms now. Go. Bismillah. Accept your invitation, please. Quickly, ladies. Saleh, no, Kareem. Amal.
Twice 3 years ago, maybe not just 3 years ago, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. If you want to repeat it again, it's okay.
Okay. I received this advice from 3 years ago.
Okay, you can
From
say
ago.
no. Yes, I received this advice 3 years ago without from.
Okay. 3 years ago. Okay. Okay.
Okay, now you can ask me. My turn. It's okay.
Who gave you advice? The advice.
Okay, I received my advice. Okay.
We can't ask each other one question and the other answers. We have to answer the whole thing.
The whole questions first? Okay.
Each one of you must answer the whole thing and keep on speaking for 2 continuous minutes, answering the 4 questions. Yalla bina, let's start. Bismillah.
Okay, I will ask him again. Okay, when this happened?
Don't ask him. He has to look at his mobile.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I received this advice 2 years ago. My friend told me this advice. This advice was study smarter, not harder.
Who gave you? Yes.
Okay. Who gave you the
Who
advice?
gave you the Yes.
Okay. It's your turn.
السلام عليكم.
Hello.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
How are you?
Fine, alhamdulillah. Yeah, you can start.
لا, you can start. لا, no one can start. I called you back because I wanted to say something that is very important. Okay?
Okay.
I want to give you a piece of advice, which is we are not allowed to ask each other questions. Each one of us must have his or her own mobile in his hand and start answering the questions for around 2 continuous minutes. We don't exchange questions. You just have the question paper or the question in front of you, and you keep on answering these questions for 2 continuous minutes. And then after you finish, wait a minute, please. After you finish, the other person takes turn. Okay, and what am I doing while you're talking? While you're giving me your presentation? If I'm with you in the same room. For example, Kareem and Amal were in the same room, right? Kareem should take notes for Amal's presentation, should write whatever he thinks is wrong in order to be corrected. After she finishes her 2 minutes, you switch the roles, you switch the turns. Amal takes notes of what mistakes Kareem has done. Then after we both finish, we discuss our mistakes together. Clear enough?
Yes.
Okay. ما فيش حد فينا يسأل التاني سؤال. احنا بنجاوب على ال4 أسئلة مرة واحدة بنفس التكنيك اللي احنا كنا بنتكلم فيه النهارده. For each question, I give a main idea, supporting details, and example.
وبس اقول لك على حاجه، هو انا بسيبه هو يقول وانا اقول، يقول وانا اقول، يعني ايه السؤال؟ انا مش بسال السؤال حضرتك ده، هو يقوله بطريقته وانا اقوله بطريقتي عشان
يا كريم let him
ما
answer.
اعرفش اتكلم continuous يعني.
You have to. This is an IELTS test, which means that you have to keep on speaking for 2 continuous minutes without interruption. خلاص؟ يلا let's go back to our rooms once more, please.
Okay. My friend gave it to me. I had an appointment with her, and I missed it. However, my friend my friend used to miss our dates, but she advised me to arrange my sleeping or to sleep early and wake up early, not wasting my time. She advised me to arrange my sleeping or to sleep early. She told me that my health will be affected badly if I still doing that, and however I know that well before, but her friendly way encouraged me to accept her advice, and that day I decided to begin to waking up early. You take notes?
Yes.
Okay, I finished.
Go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Shall I begin?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
I
Okay.
recently received a piece of advice, actually from Steve Jobs, who is one of the owners of Apple company. It was wake up every day as it is your last, because one day you are going to be right. He said
What
it
day?
in wake up every
For myself and reliable vision towards things, people, and life partners. Okay, you hear me
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Maybe you have the second question that learning this advice. I learned this advice from a Shakespeare play that carrying the same name of the advice, which is not all glitters. All glitters isn't gold.
كريم ممكن تسيب الورق اللي في ايدك خالص؟
ايوه. انت شايفاني ازاي يا دكتوره؟
سيب الورق اللي في ايدك يا كريم، الله يرضى عليك.
لا اله الا الله. انا خفت. ده انا قافل الكام حتى عشان ما تقفش.
مش عايزه ورق يا كريم، عايزاك تتكلم من دماغك بحت.
حاضر ماشي.
اللي انا قلت عليه بالظبط main idea supporting، مش عايزه شكسبير، مش عايزه كلام كبير، انا كل اللي محتاجاه ان احنا نفكر بنفس الطريقه اللي انا اتكلمت فيها النهارده، بس عايزه كلام بسيط وسيمبل وطالع من القلب كده، بس مش محتاجه حاجه اكتر من كده. اوكي
معلش دكتوره هند، ممكن حضرتك دخلتيني في بوكاب، انا المفروض ان احنا نحفظ بوكاب يوميا ولا؟
طبعا اكيد.
طب انا ما اعرفش حضرتك في كتاب او كده ممكن نتابع مع حضرتك في الكتب؟
هبعت لكم حاضر كامبريدج فوكابولري as soon as possible. النهارده ان شاء الله كمان. اوكي؟
تمام اوكي.
حاضر يا حبيبتي. يلا continue بقى.
Yes, I can start.
Yes, with pleasure.
I'm going to tell about some useful advice. This 5 years ago, when I was in secondary school, I asked my cousin for advice if I should continue in the college faculty or pharmacy, college of faculty of pharmacy or faculty of medicine.
If we if we used to think in English, it would be easy to make a paragraph in not 1 minute, in no minutes.
Okay, so tell me about your notes about my speaking.
No, just the word unnecessary and
neglectable.
Yes.
Okay, it is another. I think another synonyms of it.
Synonym.
Synonym.
Yes.
Synonym. Okay, and for me, you can tell me. Your notes.
Okay.
A lot of notes.
No, not a lot of. Dr. Hend could tell you a lot of. You repeated wake up early many times. You can use instead of it be active or something like that instead of repeating the same word in each sentence.
Thank you.
That's all. Your grammar was right, as I think you used the past simple all the time.
Yeah, thank you.
I was like I born it again. I was born. Sorry.
خبطت دماغي بكلمة كأنك
I was born again.
Yeah.
And this affected in my whole life. Affected.
Yes, احنا بنتكلم في الباست simple tense, صح؟
Yeah.
I start.
The verbs must be in the past form.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I get started, Saleh?
Is everybody back?
Hello?
Hello?
Is everybody back?
Yes, we are here.
You think we're not back yet? We're back?
Yeah. So, continue. Who was talking?
Me.
Continue, please.
I have recently received the advice from a friend that I must select my goals before I start anything in my life, because that will achieve the time. I'll not waste my efforts. I'll be in the correct way to learn about things, to achieve things. This is the advice. And
Kareem, things.
Things. Okay. I found this advice is awful, is helpful, supporting me, or orient me the correct direction of thinking. I can consider it the greatest advice in my life, in which it saves time, saves efforts. I do concentrate on
time and effort, in which it saves time and effort. Thank you very much, Kareem. This is enough. Now I want you.
ده احسن من اللي كنت كاتبه، صح؟
بكتير. ده منظم.
ده الصراحه والله ده الصراحه تلقائي، يعني ده من نفسي كده، لكن لما بقعد احضر وكده بحس بصعوبه.
لا خليك
تكلف، يبقى فيها تكلف شويه. والله الطبيعي حلو.
خطبة الجمعة.
خليك في الطبيعي صح كده.
ايوه يا عم انا محضر خطبه النهارده.
Okay. So this is a sample answer that I want you to go through. Can you see my board? My screen, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I checked this one yesterday.
Okay. أيوة الناس اللي بتغش وبتعترف إنها بتغش دي. Yes, as I told you before, you can easily find the answer for every question. عادي جدا. As long as it's gonna give us some more ideas to generate or some more ideas to consider. خلاص؟ يلا. أنا بسرعة جدا I will go through it and I will ask any of you to read it. علشان نظبط الفوناتكس كمان بالمرة. نسأل مين؟ Who would like to read? Raise hands.
انا دكتور عشان نفسي اظبط
هنا مش على الكام. Raise hands هناك.
انزل. ريز هاند.
أنا تو. لا أنا عايزة حد ما رفعش إيده النهاردة وما فتحش المايك. طبعا كلنا فتحنا المايك، مفيش حاجة أصلا عندي في السيشن اسمها ما فتحناش المايك، بس ستيل يعني. وألس حد كمان؟ يا الله. طب أقول حادي بادي؟
كل واحد يقرا جزء يا دكتوره بعد اذنك يعني. لحد ما تقول واحد بس يعني واحد ستارت وبس والتاني يكمل كده بالدور بقى.
يلا يا صالح.
يعني تبتدي بيا بعد كده نسمة بعد كده.
نبدأ من الأول.
صالح.
عشان تشوف اللي مركز كمان
يلا يا صالح.
Okay. I was a bit confused while picking the situation when I received some useful advice from others. And finally, I decided to talk about the advice. The advice I got it from my father when I was in my early
teenage. Yeah, teenage. In my early teenage يعني when I was a teenager. يعني سن التينز يعني من أول 13 لغاية 19. أي حاجة فيها تين يبقى اسمها teenager. Okay? Yes. سن المراهقة. Yes.
There was no particular situation or reason my father gave me.
Saleh, let me say something. EA makes a long E. EA تعمل لي long E sound. زيها زي الدبل E بالظبط. Feeling, reason, season. Okay?
Okay.
No particular situation or reason.
Okay. There was no particular situation or reason. My father gave me some advice. In one evening, I was sitting near him and watching TV. Watching TV. I was then 14 years old and was very fond of quiz shows.
Fond of? Do you guys know what's fond of? Fond of means in love with.
Interested in?
Very interested in, yes. When I'm fond of, means I'm very interested. I'm fond of the Ahli team, for example. Fond of, yani I'm a big fan of. Okay. Continue.
Both of us were enjoying the program, and a few minutes later my father asked me about my school.
Thank you very much. Nisma. Nisma, that was here. We're here. That was a bit embarrassing.
Embarrassing to talk about.
That was embarrassing. Third line, Nisma.
That was a bit embarrassing to talk about since my recent exam was disappointing. He then told me some fascinating stories from his childhood and how he felt about school. study and other stuff. My father has a natural talent for telling compelling stories, or maybe I love his more passion for playing, hanging out with friends than studying. He then explained me
You
the
skipped a line.
importance.
Just a minute, please. You skipped a line. My father had a natural talent for telling compelling stories, or maybe I love his stories because I like him very much.
Oh,
I was
I
so amazed.
problem.
Really, please. No problem. At one point,
Okay. At one point, I was so amazed to learn that he was very much like me and had very
had more passion.
oh and had more passion for
playing.
hanging with friends than studying. He
اكتشف ان بابا كان خايف زيه في المدرسه بالظبط الحمد لله. And he felt very comfortable when he knew this. ايه ده؟
هيجوم بره يعني.
Yeah, he's not the kind of a father who claims to be a perfectionist. Unfortunately, most of the fathers and the mothers nowadays keep on telling their children that I was the best in my school. I was the most perfectionist person there. I got the highest rank in my school. They never told them how bad they were or how playful they were at the school days, right?
Right.
Yes. And this is really bad, psychologically bad. In order to get closer to your children, you better tell them that you were exactly like them. Until sometime when you walk up and you realize that your future is, being some kind of being lost, and you have to wake up and you have to, keep an eye on your future and work for it. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
He then?
I continue or someone else?
Continue, please.
He then explained me the importance.
Explained to me. And this is a mistake. Explained to me
the importance of studying very attentively and how my academic performance will determine my future.
Determine. ناس كتيرة بتقراها determine بس هي لأ. Determine. Yes.
If the advice had been received from my father, I might have taken very lightly. But when he told me how he had changed himself and achieved excellence in his academic results, and how that helped him to.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Karim, continue.
Results and how that جايبانا عند ذات يا دكتورة and how that has helped him to achieve a career he always dreamed about. I took it very seriously. The best point about this conversation was that I didn't feel like I was being lectured or intentionally delivered some good advice. I thought about what my father advised me, and I was really captivated about the idea that my academic excellence can someday make me a person I want to be. I was really thrilled about what I want to be in the future.
I was really enthralled
about what I want to be in the future, and my father's advice made it clear to me that I'll have to study hard to achieve this in my life. I won't say I have achieved an excellent academic record.
Thank you very much, Karim. Who else?
كويس
Her hand? Yes. يلا ياسر, continue.
I won't say I have achieved an excellent, but that advice helped me to become interested in learning and studying things. Things in quite different for me if I did not receive the advice in proper time. This is, this is the reason I consider it as the best advice I have ever received from anyone. This advice grew the interest,
Grew.
grew, grew or green,
Grew, yes, grew.
grew,
Faster.
grew,
Grow is grew.
grew. Okay. This advice grew the interest of reading and learning in me, and that's the best part in my life so far.
Thank you very much. Okay, now I'm going to read it, and I want you guys to concentrate in this passage because I want you to get an idea of how to answer such a question. Okay, I was a bit confused while picking the situation when I received some useful advice from others, and finally I decided to talk about the advice I got from my father when I was in my early teenage. There was no particular situation or reason. My father gave me some advice. In one evening, I was sitting near him and watching TV. I was then 14 years old and very fond of quiz shows. Both of us were enjoying the program, and a few minutes later, my father asked me about my school. That was a bit embarrassing to talk about since my recent exam result was very disappointing. He then told me some fascinating stories from his childhood and how he felt about school, study, and other stuff. My father has a natural talent for telling compelling stories, or maybe I love his stories because I love him very much. At one point, I was so amazed to learn that he was very much like me and had more passion for playing, hanging out with friends than studying. He then explained to me the importance of studying very attentively and how my academic performance will determine my future. If the advice had not been received from my father, I might have taken it very lightly. But when he told me how he had changed himself and achieved excellence in his academic results, and how that has helped him to achieve a career he always dreamt about, I took it very seriously. The best point about this conversation was that I didn't feel like I was being lectured or intentionally delivered some good advice. Some people hate to receive advice, by the way. Yeah? Some people hate to be lectured. ما بيحبوش الجو بتاع اللي هو يعني كريم.
ولكن لا تحبون الناصحين.
أيوه. صح.
والنصيحة على الملأ فضيحة يا دكتور.
Yes.
أنا عايز ده advice ما أعرفش ولا زي in English.
Some kind of advice too. So some people do not like. لا يعني حتى يا كريم حتى لو الموضوع بشكل personal, some people hate to be lectured even in private situations.
Or in public. Or in public.
Either in public or in private. They don't like to be advised. بس الشخص ده الحقيقة لحق نفسه على آخر لحظة. بيقول I thought about what my father advised me and I was really captivated about the idea that my academic excellence can someday make me a person I want to be. When you are captivated about something يا جماعة يعني محاصر بالفكرة. Okay?
طب وانثرد يعني؟
ها؟
enthralled.
Enthralled يعني horrified. مرعوب. Okay? طيب. I was really enthralled about what I want to be in the future.
Enthralled in, please.
Enthralled, horrified.
Right.
موجودة. Enthralled.
Yeah. What does it mean?
No. So enthralled means horrified. scared,
Okay.
afraid,
Captivated.
نعم. Oh yes. وممكن كمان in a positive meaning it can mean charmed. Charmed يعني سحرتني الفكرة. I was charmed by the idea. Enthralled. Okay? So I was really enthralled about what I want to be in the future, and my father's advice made it clear to me that I will have to study hard to achieve this in my life. I won't say I have achieved an excellent academic record, but this advice helped me to become interested in learning and studying. Things could have been quite different for me if I didn't receive the advice in proper time. This is the reason I consider it as the best advice I've ever received from anyone. This advice grew the interest of reading and learning in me, and that's the best part in my life so far. Understand? خلاص? I think that if you started giving an answer to this question, I believe that your answer this time will be a little bit different than before. Right? Okay. Yes, dear.
ده من امتحان ايلتس يا دكتور؟
Pardon me?
ده من امتحان ايلتس؟
Yes, this is an IELTS test. All I did is taking the first part of the question and then I wrote model answer. Just Google it. Okay, and we have more answers. If you see here, sample answer 2. And sometimes they give 3 sample answers. Yes, who would like to ask any questions before we go?
I had 2 words, maybe fell from me. Compelling stories. Does it mean complete story or compelling? What does it mean in this sentence?
Where? Here?
Embarrassing. Embarrassing make someone be angry?
No, to embarrass someone, to put him or her in a negative situation where they feel where they feel bad about themselves or low self-esteem. Low self-esteem.
Ashamed from himself?
Ashamed, yes. Embarrassed could be ashamed, yes.
أنا عندي سؤال برضه يا دكتورة بعد إذن حضرتك.
Yes, my dear. Speak in English.
Okay. The thing that compile the specs is compatible for. Is that right? Is compatible for this? Compatible for the verb of it compile as shown in this.
No. Compile things together means to put them over each other. Yani I compiled all my books in one.
Combine. Not combine. Not by N. By L. Compile. Compile. This compiles the specs, the specifications. Compile.
Write down your question, ya Kareem, please. Either in the group or in the chat box. Okay? Because I can't get your question. Or repeat it again.
Compile.
Compile.
Compatible for?
As I told you, to compile things together means to collect them and put them into one volume. Okay, when you compile a group of poetry books, this means you collect them all in one pack. This is compiling. Okay? Thank you very much. Our lesson is over for today. I will send you the home assignment. Kindly make sure you do it as fast as possible. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask your question. La ya Kareem. Combine is something else. Combine means to make combination. Combine, you mix things together. Compile, you put things over each other. Compatible for is something that is suitable to match with something else. This application is compatible for Windows 10, for example. Compatible for, yani it matches with. Combine things together means you mix them together. Combine, make a combination. Compile means to put them in one pile, to make one pile, to put them over each other. Or
super confusing.
It's very confusing, yes. We look like each other, or sometimes يعني you can say that بس لا حتى ال pronunciation is a little bit different. Okay? They're different يا كريم. Alright? Thank you very much everyone. See you inshallah tomorrow. Your home assignment, and keep on listening. I will send you a listening home assignment today in order to make an oral summary inshallah. Oral.
Is there any session tomorrow? Tomorrow is day off, right? Saturday?
Tomorrow, yes. The day off. Yay. Happy?
Okay. Not happy.
I have one comment that reading passage together all, it is very useful for us. Yeah. All of us participate one thing and rectify our pronunciation.
Yes, definitely.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Thank you. Only this is the good idea. معلش أنا كل good idea على فكرة.
I know.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a very wonderful Jum'ah Mubarak, inshallah. Don't forget to read Surah Al-Kahf today, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thanks.